Hello and a very warm welcome. Let's talk about Monegasque driver Charles Leclerc. His attitude is absolutely sensational when it comes to dealing with disappointment. The Monaco Grand Prix, Charles Leclerc's home Grand Prix, literally grew up on the streets that he's racing round. His weekend didn't exactly start well, missing the whole of practice one. Then Ferrari were really quick, as shown by Carlos Sainz. Charles Leclerc then came back and he topped FP2. And then qualifying, he was on pole, provisional pole, then he crashed into the barrier. And that is what cost him hugely at Monaco. But we've seen this before, so this is not a one-off. The way he deals with disappointment, he is a class act. You take Lewis Hamilton, for example, ranting on the radio. Charles Leclerc is a class act. We saw it at Bahrain that time, where he was dominating the race, had a loss of power, ended up finishing third, and he took it with great. His attitude is fantastic when it comes to disappointment. Of course, he will be megally disappointed. He had the Monaco Grand Prix won. Pole position, he doesn't crash in the wall, he probably wins the Monaco race. But not even to get to do your home race is just heartbreaking. And if you didn't feel for Charles Leclerc, then I question whether you really have a heart. But there's no doubting, Charles Leclerc's attitude is phenomenal. It's phenomenal. For someone so young, he's so mature in these situations. Look, on the image, there he is, heartbreak. Then not only has he gone through that heartbreak, knowing he's not going to be able to race round his home track, not even to do the Grand Prix, even if he was starting from the pit lane. He then went to the national anthem, take the knee. Obviously, Charles Leclerc doesn't take the knee, but he still went there. Still went there with the anthem and still went to show support. And even though he wasn't racing, I thought that was phenomenal. And then it would have been easy for him to leave the track. I guarantee if it was Kimi Räikkönen, he'd have been off. But Charles Leclerc stayed around and then he embraced his teammate who got a podium for the first time for Ferrari. So all in all, Charles Leclerc's attitude is sensational when he has disappointment. Of course, he will be disappointed because he probably should have won the Monaco Grand Prix. He had pole position. He then hit the wall and that was his downfall. But yeah, Charles Leclerc is a future champion. I see it in him. And I think he deserves credit for the way he handled the whole situation. Of course, if you're going to be sincere, it was his mistake. He hit the wall, it was his mistake. So, I saw a lot of people saying karma, which is really harsh. Yeah, I like Charles Leclerc. He comes across as a great driver. And we should be thankful we have drivers like this in Formula 1. Yeah, I thought his attitude was absolutely outstanding. I mean, disappointment, but his attitude was phenomenal. From going to the national anthem to embracing his teammate, being there to support Carlos for his first podium. Just absolutely fantastic. And he will be hurting Charles Leclerc because it's his home race. He's never actually finished the Monaco Grand Prix, which is an unbelievable statistic. But yeah, comment down below. Would love to know your thoughts on the Monegasque. I thought his attitude was sensational. He was very quick. Positive for Ferrari as a team, because Charles was fast and Carlos was fast. But let's be real. If we're going to be brutally honest here, Ferrari had a big opportunity to win the Monaco Grand Prix. Now, where have they found this pace from? That's what I want to know. because they were actually fighting for victory at Monaco. And we all know what happened in 2019. All of a sudden they were amazing, getting poles left, right and centre. Be very interesting to see what happens at Baku. Charles Leclerc's actually quite good around Baku, but everyone remembers that famous moment. I am stupid, where he crashed at the castle. But all in all, this is how you deal with setbacks. This is how you deal with disappointment. So, for a 7-time world champion to be ranting on the radio and coming out and publicly going against the team, Charles Leclerc just come into the sport like he's not been around that long, and he handled it fantastic. That is a big strength of Charles Leclerc. We saw it in Bahrain and we saw it at Monaco. Of course, the huge disappointment, but his attitude is phenomenal during these setbacks. Of course, it's going to be quite mentally tough on him when he reflects on this, because he's got like a week to think about it before we go to Baku. But yeah, I've got to say I was very impressed with his attitude and persona given his disappointment. So Charles Leclerc should hold his head up high. Real sportsman.